But if you're like me, there are areas of your life where you do something that is actually required to have a good life. Okay. Now, what is required to have a good life in a number of areas? Ongoing maintenance. Ongoing maintenance. Try to run your car year after year after year without ever doing any checking the oil, changing the oil, okay, looking at the tires, maybe changing some tires, some filters, some hoses, all that kind of stuff. You go, I don't need that. It's not making any noise. Well, one day, and it's coming, baby, one day, boom, it won't drive anymore. Or, well, I'm okay. I can make the minimum payment on the credit card debt every month. I can make the minimum payment. And you're not doing the maintenance on your finances to deal with that debt and having savings and having an emergency fund and having a little bit for you're putting away for retirement and all that ongoing. That's all right. It doesn't hurt today, does it? Not at all. We can get by. But then one day, boom, it does. Or I don't want to go to the dentist every 6 months. Why do I need to do that? Nothing hurts. No, it doesn't until you wake up one night in a foreign country because you went on a trip and you got an abscess 3 a.m. It'll catch up. It'll catch up. Or termites. I haven't seen a termite. Why would I get the house inspected? Why would I have a pest person come out here? I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on again, right? How about your marriage? Yeah, everything's fine. I don't need to work on it. I don't need to check in. I don't need to do this, have regular date nights and regular getaways and regular checking ins. And no, we're fine. I'll sit on the couch, keep hitting the remote until one day you walk home and there is a note. Sort of like an abscessed tooth, right? A note. I just can't do this anymore. See, maintenance is just a part of life. It is a discipline in every area of life. Now, why in the world did this come up today? Well, about 6 weeks ago or so, I'm driving home one night and I had a fireworks show in my left visual field over here. And I'm talking like, and I looked out, I thought it was lights reflecting. I was driving at night. I thought it was lights reflecting on the window. And I turned, and when I turned, the fireworks show turned. And I went, crap, this isn't out there. This is in my head. And I knew I wasn't having a psychotic break. I was just my normal crazy. And I just continued these lights were flashing everywhere. And then I walked in the house and all of a sudden I'm seeing all this, looks like I'm looking through a forest. So I've got a friend that's an ophthalmologist and I called her and said, what the heck is going on in my head? She said, you gotta get to a doctor immediately and get this checked out. She said, it might not be anything, but your retina may be detaching. So I go to the eye doctor and he explains it to me and he says, it doesn't look like it's detaching, but there's some, and he explains this process that normally happens, it's kind of the years go on. And he said, but we're going to watch it because I need to see you again in 6 weeks. He said, because if you start having a lot of floaters and if you start having more fireworks, then you do have the retina is unplugging and we need to, fix that because you can go blind. All right, so here's my wake-up call. Not that happened. That's just a normal kind of thing that happens, I guess, as you get past 29. But it made me realize See my little readers here? These are pretty cool. I get these off of Amazon. Pack of 5 for $25. But I always guess at this stupid number, right? And I can see fine. You know, my far vision, I found out, is still 2015. So I can see golf flags way out there. But up close, you know, now in poor lighting, I kind of, you know, it helps to have these things. But I just realized when I was in there, I haven't been to the eye doctor since I had LASIK surgery in the late 90s. And my doctor says, dude, that's not good. Now, not only have I been struggling along with the wrong prescription all that time, but you know, there could be budding problems in there that nobody is seeing. Same thing with early cancer detection or colonoscopies or all of this stuff. Now, I'm talking a lot about the health thing because that's what made me aware of it. But how about the rest of your life? You know, I want you to make a pie chart and kind of think about the different slices of the pie. Now, I know in my life, if you look at where I'm good at doing regular maintenance, I would say that in terms of my relationships, I'm pretty plugged in, regular maintenance, checking in, how are we doing? Let's do things to get better, all that kind of stuff. In terms of my finances, I've always been a little obsessive about, you know, staying on top of those and planning and investing and saving and scrimping and all that kind of stuff. I watch that. Professionally, you know, a lot of continuing ed. I study, I take courses that I don't have to take. I read probably three books a weekish, something like that I'm in and reading along with. And then spiritually, I kind of do that. And then my golf game, when I can walk, I'm waiting on surgery now, but I'm pretty disciplined about that. But you get to some other areas, I suck. You know, I haven't been to the eye doctor. I hadn't, you know, been to the dentist in a while. I don't like them. And what are some? I gotta go get. You know, you're supposed to get the heart thing checked out, and I guess. And there's probably historical reasons for that in my life. You know, I had when I was 3, almost 4 years old. I've written about this. Some of you may know this, but I had a hip disease, and I went into a wheelchair and braces, and for a couple of years there, as a 4 and 5-year-old, I couldn't walk, and I lived in hospitals, and you know, had some significant trauma around all that, and some other stuff that happened along the way. And I just think maybe that's why I just sort of avoid it, you know. But I am getting better in all these areas. I am making my more regular appointments. I just hadn't done it with the eye doctor. And that's what reminded me of this for you. So I want you to look at your life. What maintenance are you putting off? And not only don't put it off, build it into your calendar. When I left the eye doctor this morning, I made my next appointment, which I won't need, except that we need it, right? When's the last time you went to talk to a financial counselor? I see so many people that are not aware of some basic things that if they were aware of, it could change their entire financial life. But they've never taken the time to learn about it. They just believe what their parents might have said, or grandma might have said, or the people say, or whatever about how money works. I mean, everything from how you buy a car to there's 1,000 areas of life. When's the last time you went to a financial counselor to get your Get a budget figured out. How can you do life without a budget? I mean, a budget is your way of telling every dollar where to go and what to do. You should be in control of that instead of it being in control of you. Or all the other areas of life, your relationships, spiritual development, health, all of it, your hobbies, all of it, maintenance. The Bible uses the word diligence. I like, it's actually my father-in-law said, I think this is what he said after a study of the book of Proverbs. He began to think of the word diligence as doing the right thing at the right time in the right way for the right reason. And diligence means what you see is, and this is over and over and over again, guys, life is built one brick at a time. Trust is built one brick at a time. Intimacy is built one brick at a time. If you don't believe that, then follow somebody around that has one night stands and then look at where they are with that person 6 months later, right? Versus people that build a relationship little by little, or people that build wealth little by little. Interesting study about millionaires. I think it was a Ramsey organization that did this recently, and I read about it. I'm not going to get this exactly right, but this isn't exactly right. It is right. I think it's either one or two. It's right in there. Guess what? In terms of millionaires, the number one profession of millionaires is teachers. Yeah, who are diligent, work on it. After that, or with that, or right before that, I think it's engineers, and then there's I think lawyers. People, and they talked about people that have diligence built into their way of thinking about life. They end up treating that area of their life well. Well, same thing about, look at people with really successful relationships. They have things they do in rhythms and schedules, and they have their small group, or they're gathering of friends, or the communities they live in. They're not just all over the place, and whatever life brings you, that's what we do as a couple. They tend to the garden, and that's kind of the main point today. So look at these areas of your life and where that kind of maintenance needs to happen. And I'll give you a little word game here that that I like. Is, there's some things that are in life that are vital, which vital means life, life-giving. Excuse me. And if we do the vital things, the things that are vital, we will live. Okay. That's why they take your vital signs, right? Your pulse and your respiratory and temperature and all that. These are showing, if these are bad, you might die, right? Then there's urgent stuff. Urgent stuff is something that needs immediate attention. And here's the problem. Most of the urgent stuff in life that's clamoring for your immediate attention because it causes immediate pain is probably not going to kill you. I got a splinter in my toe. It's not going to kill me, but boy, will I go fix that immediately because it hurts right now. I might have high blood pressure. It does not hurt at all. There's nothing urgent about it. I can go eat another 5 pounds of salt today, tomorrow, the next day, the next month, the next year. Doesn't hurt. Nothing's making me do it. And then I drop dead. It's vital. In your relationships, it's not urgent that you need to sit down with whoever you're wanting to be closer to and do real intimacy work and share and work through. That's not urgent. You can avoid that. but it'll kill the relationship. We can avoid spending time with our kids because, sometimes we're tired. Just don't have it in me. But everything that's vital inside that kid needs that connection. It's not urgent for me, right? Nothing. I mean, they're not going to leave home if I don't pay attention to them today. But you keep doing that day after day after day after day. And as soon as they can turn that face, be out that door, they're gone. They ain't coming back because there's no glue holding them, because that's vital. So keep doing the maintenance. That is what builds the good stuff. And here's the phrase I was going to give you. We need to make the vital things urgent, because they're not. So if you don't add some urgency to doing it, it's not going to happen. So put it in your schedule. There we go.